Have you ever wondered why some people seem to be far more susceptible to attracting narcissists than others? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about 6 types of people who tend to be narcissist magnets. Let's get started. Now, before I begin this video, I just want to quickly mention that the free one-to-one consult with either me or a member of my team for the Freedom Class program is open. So be sure to click the link in the description below to sign up for your free call to see if we'd be a good fit to work together. And if you're new here, welcome. Please take a second to say hello and introduce yourself in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos throughout the week. My name is Tamie M. Joyce. I'm an empowerment life coach and creator of the Freedom Class. I help people take their power back and heal from painful family of origin and romantic relationship patterns so they can finally live their best lives in peace, confidence, and freedom. So let's talk about the types of people who attract narcissists. First on the list, untreated codependents. People who are codependent and have yet to begin their healing and recovery work tend to be the great fixers, rescuers, saviors, and enablers, which is a real treat for a destructive narcissist. These are the people who go through life seeking external validation and approval. They're lacking a sense of self-love and self-esteem. They engage in a lot of people-pleasing behavior, and they lack the ability to set healthy limits and boundaries with others. And for these reasons, they're very easy to manipulate and exploit. Again, a real treat for a destructive narcissist. Untreated codependents are the people who will make excuses for or outright deny and ignore the narcissist's appalling and toxic behavior, and therefore support and enable the narcissist in continuing in their harmful and destructive ways. Narcissists don't want people around who are going to tell them the truth, call them out on their bullshit, or stand up to them in any way. And an untreated codependent isn't likely to do any of those things. Next on the list, untreated adult children of family dysfunction, meaning people who were raised in a home where active alcoholism or any other form of addiction was present. People who have endured abandonment, benign neglect, outright abuse. Now that could be verbally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, physically, and/or sexually. For the record, any inappropriate sexual conduct with or in front of a minor is sexual abuse. Make no mistake. It involves secrecy, manipulation, and mountains of toxic guilt and shame that the child or minor is burdened with and forced to carry throughout their childhood, throughout their teens, throughout their 20s, right into adulthood, right? Pretty sick stuff. You've got to be pretty narcissistic to be exploiting a child or any minor in that fashion. In addition, adult children of family dysfunction include people who were raised by parents or primary caretakers who themselves were untreated adult children of alcoholism, addiction, abuse, or any form of high spectrum family dysfunction, as well as people whose parents or primary caretakers were themselves narcissistic, landed on the spectrum of destructive narcissism, people who were lacking in empathy, lacking in conscience to some degree, if not a very large degree. So when you were raised by parents or primary caretakers who neglected you, abandoned you, or abused you on any level, what happens is you grow up, if you don't heal, you are fundamentally lacking a sense of self. You don't know who you are. And as a result, narcissistic abuse is familiar to that wounded inner child, which is a very real aspect of your subconscious self. Until you heal that aspect of yourself, you are going to continue to attract what is in vibrational match, what is an emotional, vibrational, energetic match to the original family of origin, wounding, or trauma. Once you heal that aspect of yourself, everything changes from the inside out. Everything changes. Next on the list, empaths, lightworkers, and highly sensitive people. In particular, those who are not well versed or educated in all things narcissistic abuse and therefore don't understand or pick up on the red flags. People who are highly empathic, full blown empaths, lightworkers, and highly sensitive people carry a lot of love and compassion. And for that reason, cannot even fathom that a person can be as manipulative, hurtful, deceptive, envious, damaging, and destructive as a narcissist can be. Why? Because empaths, lightworkers, and highly sensitive people typically don't carry that themselves. So when you don't carry it, it's harder to see it coming. Again, in particular, if you're not educated or well versed in all things narcissistic abuse. Empaths, lightworkers, and highly sensitive people carry a lot of light. And narcissists can literally energetically latch on and siphon that vital life force energy from your very being. And given the chance, that's exactly what they'll do. I don't call them energy vampires for nothing. Now, another type of person who tends to be a real magnet to a destructive narcissist is people who identify as being spiritual or religious. These are the people who go through life wanting to be the better person, which of course is a good thing. They want to take the high road, but they also think it's a good thing to be patient, tolerant, and long-suffering in the face of abuse. And the truth is, that's not good for either party. So you know the types. Often this is the good Christian, not always, but often, right? And these people also tend to be overly forgiving. And while I'm all for forgiveness, there's a lot of skewed thinking around forgiveness that comes out of spiritual and religious environments. These are the folks who will guilt trip and shame you when you finally establish no contact with your abuser. Not so healthy, actually. And let's be clear, while we're on the subject of forgiveness, we forgive for us, not them. Forgiveness and reconciliation are not one in the same. Ironically, it was a pastor who taught me that concept decades ago, thank goodness. Just because I forgive a person does not mean I ever have to be susceptible to their particular brand of crazy ever again. So know that you do not have to rebuild a relationship with everyone you've forgiven. Just because you're at peace does not mean they're not still toxic, damaging, or dangerous, right? So for those of you who identify as being spiritual or religious, but still find yourself a real magnet to empathy deficient, conscienceless, narcissistic, toxic people, here's the thing. We don't want to be judgmental, but we don't want to drop wise discernment in the process of living from our heart and our spiritual or religious beliefs and convictions, right? Yes, we want to see the good in people for sure, but how about we see the truth? Because the truth is there are a lot of people walking this planet that don't carry the good that you or I do. And it's important that we learn to discern. Judgment equals criticism and condemnation. Wise discernment is an accurate assessment, not necessarily accompanied by criticism and condemnation, but an accurate assessment of what it is that we are thinking, feeling, seeing, hearing, experiencing, what another is showing us through their behavior. Wise discernment, a vital piece that we often lose while we're trying to be the good Christian or the spiritual warrior, right? So don't forget wise discernment and the importance of telling yourself the truth. In my experience, as much as churches and 12-step environments and the like are filled with good people, they are also filled with high spectrum destructive narcissists because there's a lot of targets in those environments. So there's a lot of predators there too. Next on the list, high achievers. People who have a lot going for them. Narcissists really like to gravitate to anyone who they feel could enhance their image or social status simply by aligning themselves with you. So if you have any of the aforementioned, any combination of the aforementioned, and in addition, you've got it going on, you are exceptionally attractive, you've got a great job, career, status, title, you have money, you or your family have influence or great connections, you live in a fabulous home in an affluent neighborhood, you, my friend, are going to be a narcissist lunch. And last but not least, other empathy impaired conscienceless people. In other words, other people who land on the spectrum of destructive narcissism. Let's face it, birds of a feather flock together. Water rises to its own level, and often like attracts like. And the truth is, these people really get each other. So you'll often find destructive narcissists hanging out with other destructive narcissists. And with that, I'm going to call it a wrap. My friends, I hope you got some value out of this today. If you liked what you heard, please give me a like, share it with your friends if you think it would be helpful, and comment below and let me know what your biggest takeaway was. And let me know if you have any questions, and that will help inform content that I'm putting out moving forward. So please don't be shy if you have any questions or anything that I can help you with specifically. And again, if you're new here, a great big huge welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos throughout the week. And as I mentioned at the top of the video, we do have some spots available in the calendar this week for the free one-to-one consults with either myself or a member of the team for the Freedom Class program. So if that's of interest to you, be sure to check out the link in the description below to sign up for your free call to see if we'd be a good fit for working together. And as always, I will leave you with this. Know your value and unlock your freedom. So much love. See you next time. Bye for now.